Hello everyone. I guess you can hear me. We will try to learn GSAP and I don't I can't recall the syntax, but I will try to do something using GSAP. So this is my app file. I'm using React. I used Byte to create my React app and I have created test001.jsx file which I have added in my app.jsx, and this is my test001 file, and I can see here test001. So first thing, let's import our test001.css. So whatever we add we can see here. Next thing is, let's create two divs. So first, let's add empty fragments, React fragments, I guess. Okay, so we will add div inside this. Let's add another div and let's name these. Uh, I will give this why it looks this. Okay, hello div. If I save this, I am not able to see anything. Oh, because of this, I guess even if I don't add this, uh, let's just add this and yeah. Now I can see hello div here. Okay, this, let's name this div container and let's call this one class name div child 01. Let's call this 02, this one 03. Okay, now let's give some CSS. My mouse is not working. I hope my audio is clear because because if it if the audio is low, I have to record again. Anyways, let's add this div container in our CSS file and we will provide some width. Let's give it 100% and height. Give 100 VH and also add background color. Let's get okay. Next, we can add this div child one and we can give it width 50%, 50 pixels, and height also 50 pixels. We can give the same amount of width and height to other child's divs, and let's add some color. Let's give this color blue violet and this one too, and here we can change this to green and here this one to yellow. Cool. Now if I check here, I have these small little tips. We can increase the size. Let's increase the size. I'm using CTRL-F, and from here let's give this 500 pixels And yeah, we have these divs and we can increase the size. Let's give the container's height 200. Still not covering. Let's give it 300. I want it to look really good. Yeah. Now, what we want to do? We want to learn GSAP. So we will, first thing we have to do is add GSAP. And to add GSAP, we have to import GSAP. And if I write GSAP, so we can import it from GSAP from all. I've already added actually in my project. I've already installed it using npm GSAP, and also I have added one more thing. Let me check in my package JSON file. This. So what you have to do, you just have to run the command npm I gsap and npm I add gsap slash react, and you will get these packages in your project. Now I have added the two of already added, so I'm not gonna add those. I will just import. I will which one should I import? This one looks nice. Or this one? Anyways, let's just add this one. Mm, now I have this. I have to add that scroller trigger plugin, so I can use the scrollers uh nicely, but I can't recall the syntax. So I will go to the Google and will search scroll trigger plugin GSAP. What else? Yeah, this one, GSAP register plugin. And we will click this GSAP platform, GSAP forum, and We will we will just waste our time like this instead of will not waste our time. We'll find a good way. Here it is. GSAP dot register plugin. Yeah, this is a forum where you can ask your GSAP related questions, and they help you to find good good way of solving your issues. I have registered the plugin. Now I just have to use GSAP. It is like use effect, not really. And you can just go ahead. You can also add dependency here. Like if you want to add that animation according to the state of your component, so you can just add some dependency over here. Now I will try to animate. Let's take the first div, and if I try to animate it, how I will just write gsap 2, and I will write the name of my container which I want to animate, and here I will put comma, and then I will create these brackets, and then this I will write rotate 300, 360, right. And if I save here, and if I check my check my what is this, my local host, scroll trigger is not defined. Okay, so I have to import scroll trigger, I guess. From where should I? This one looks good. I don't know why all these different. Uh, okay, I have to put the name 01 properly. Don't do these mistakes. Yeah, it's working. Yay! So every time I refresh, my first div rotates. So yeah, great learning. We just created one really nice animation. That's it. No. When you will start working on big projects, you will realize that this is nothing. You'll have to maintain components and the animation of those components, plus the animations inside the inside those components, that is small elements, the title, the images, everything, and you can create really awesome animations. This GSAP.2 represents that um, from initial stage, that is if div child 1 is at some point, it will just rotate to this. That means, let's say I want to move it x30, that is in horizontally, uh, it will move right side. So it will move from its initial to final position. Initial position we are not mentioning. So it will take the initial position, that is where it was initially without any animation, right? If we save this and if we go here, why is this going? Let's just wait here and see why the it is, yeah, here you can see. I should have added more amount of animation. Yeah. So it is moving from 0 to 300 because we are mentioning this. Where is it? Where is it? GSAP.2. There is another amazing method. Method? Wait, wait, wait. From to. So in this, you target your div child 02, and in this you have to mention the initial position, let's say x50, and then you mention the final position, that is x600. Let's see if this works or not. uh, okay, I guess I have to add dot here because we are referring to the class name. So if you are using ID here, will you'll have to add hash here like this. This is the basics of CSS, and GSAP is really good because it takes all the basic things of CSS, not very extraordinary like rotation. So if you're doing it using keyframes, that is basic CSS, that's fine. But if you want to handle very complicated animation and you want to handle it properly, so GSAP provides timeline feature. It also provides a lot of things. So we will discuss about it. We will discuss how we can add scroll triggers at different point of our viewport, and according to it we will handle the animation. So let's go here. Now if I refresh my page, uh it is going from, let's let's just give this 5. Now it is starting from an initial position, but then it is going to y50 and then animating, but you can't see that. So let's give it 500. So first it will, where is that, if I start here, It started from y 500 and then executed from 600. So this is its initial position now. Because we are using from to, we added the initial position and then final position, and this is how the animation is working. Cool. Weird, but cool. Anyways, let's, what else we can discuss now? Hmm, we can discuss scroll trigger. Um, so yes, let's start with the scroll trigger. Um, for scroll trigger, if I remove this and if I add here, mm, trigger, scroll trigger. Um, so we have the trigger point, right? So if we add this div container as not like this, like this. Okay. Now what we have to do, we want to mention the start. So when the div child 02 top top touches the center, we have to add it like this, and then end. So when it ends, the animation ends when the bottom of the div child 02 touches the center. That is, I will show you, but let's add animation. Let's rotate it. Rotate it 360. And what else we can do? We can also turn the opacity to 0. Opacity 0. And let's add markers. Markers are really confusing when you start learning GSAP, but it is really helpful, really helpful. You should add it, you should understand it when you start learning GSAP, because you will understand it more nicely. Now I guess I have made one good big mistake of uncaught type error, cannot set properties of undefined setting parent. Uh, um, this is from 2 because I am not using from 2. I'm not defining the first and second. Let's what is invalid property. Start set to top center. Missing plugin. Set register plugin. GSAP dot set register plugin. I have added the register plugin of scroll trigger, right? Then why I'm getting this? This is working, right? Start set to top center. What? Oh, this. Okay, let me see if I'm getting the same error. Hmm, why this is? It says it missing plugin. So this is not right. Let's add scroll trigger. Still it says missing. Um, let's search GSAP scroll trigger. We'll just check the documentation. Mm, Okay, let's add this one. Let's comment this, and we instead of child 02 we will add instead of box we will add this. So after researching, I found the way. Actually, I was writing it in a wrong way. I have to create an object like this and I have to mention the trigger. That is when the div container. Okay. So we are targeting our child to animate when div container is here. So when the top of, how to explain this? Bye.